Hello everyone, this is Crystal. Thank you for tuning into my channel. And today we're going to talk about natural deodorant in the summertime, in this heat. I did this video mainly because the hot weather is here and even people like myself who are used to natural deodorant and who have been using it for some time have had some difficulty, just still smelling fresh in this heat. And I use it all the time in cooler weather. Even last summer, I used my natural deodorants just fine. I had no issues. But this summer, I don't know what's going on. It's just, I don't know. What I was doing was not working. So I had to make some changes, and I will let you know about those changes in hopes that it can help somebody else out. Okay, when I first started using natural deodorant a couple of years ago, I used Smith's, not the sensitive skin, just the regular Smith's. Um, I really liked it. It actually works just as well as regular antiperspirants, even though it's just a deodorant. When I use antiperspirants, I usually used, what did I use? Lady Speed Stick. Lady Speed Stick. I used to use that. And, that worked fine. I had no issues with odor. And when I switched to the natural deodorant, I used Smith's regular. The first fragrance I tried was the lavender, I believe. And I used that and it worked just as well as regular antiperspirant, even though I only put it on once a day. So I had no issues. But fast forward to maybe about a year ago, the Smiths was really starting to give me like a rash under the underarms. And I stopped using it for a while, then I started back up, and then it came right back. So I'm not sure all of a sudden how this allergy just developed, but I heard that once an allergy develops to something, that's it. You pretty much have it. So even though I tried to like let the armpits heal and go back to it, it just wasn't working anymore. So I said I had to throw in the towel with the regular Smiths. I contacted the company and they sent me a sensitive skin formula to try. And I would love to try that. I like that. It didn't work quite as well as the Smiths at controlling odor. It worked about 90% as well as the regular Smiths. So, but it was still very good for a natural deodorant. And I did like that. And I was using that just fine up until the summer. And it seemed like during the summer, especially like when I was ovulating or whatever, it seems like my underarms would smell more oniony even with me using the Smiths. And I tried using the Smiths like twice a day. And then it started to irritate my underarms. So I just went back to something that has been on the shelf for quite some time. And it is the Arm & Hammer Essentials Natural Deodorant. And it's clean juniper berry scent. Okay, so I started using that and I really like it. I can usually just use it right after my shower and I can also use it in the morning. So I usually apply it twice a day, like right after my shower at night and in the morning as I'm getting dressed. Sometimes I just do it once a day, sometimes twice a day, it depends. And before I put this deodorant on, I always shower using the Dial. Let me see. Where is this? All right, I'm back. I use the Dial Cool, no, Dial Spring Water Antibacterial Deodorant Soap. Because here's the thing, it's just not the sweat that makes you stink. Sweat is basically just water, salt, a little bit of fat. It doesn't really make you stink. Like the sweat combining with the bacteria is what makes you stink. So that's why I added this Dial antibacterial soap and spring water to the mix. It looks bad because I opened up the package, but you get the point. And I didn't use the regular Dial because I don't really care for the scent. This smells a little bit, I don't know, a little bit fresher, a little bit more girly. So I was like, okay, I like this. And I don't use antibacterial soap all over my body. I don't even use it to wash my hands because I don't want to contribute to antibiotic resistance. So I just use this Dial under my armpits. And that's it. I've been doing that since the summer came in. Well, technically it's not summer, but since hot weather got here, I've been using it along with the Arm & Hammer Essentials, and it works just perfectly for me. Here's another thing that you may not have known. Like the other Arm & Hammer Essentials fragrances, they can be good too, but they can kind of be hit or miss. Like I found this in CVS, the Arm & Hammer Essentials Crisp Orange Citrus Deodorant. I had never seen this particular fragrance of the Arm & Hammer Essentials Deodorant before, so I said, oh, I just have to try this. So I got it from CVS, I got it home, I used it, and it burned my underarms pretty badly. And I hadn't even removed any hair before or shaved or nared or anything like that. So I knew the only other thing I did different was the deodorant. So I know it had to be the deodorant that caused it. And it caused my underarms to burn. Nowhere near as bad as the regular Smiths did though. So the thing is with these natural deodorants, it has a lot of essential oils in it, and certain oils may not mesh as well with certain body chemistries, or certain citrus can be kind of harsh on the skin anyway, like lemon can be kind of harsh on the skin anyway, and these maybe has lemon oil in it or something like that, and that's what caused the burning. So that's what you have to be aware of with natural deodorants, because they use a lot of times essential oils to help with the odor control. And so if you use the wrong essential oil for your body type or whatever, you can end up with something like that. So I contacted the Arm & Hammer Corporation, and they sent me a coupon to replace it with another Arm & Hammer Essentials deodorant. So their customer service has been excellent in that aspect. So, oh yeah, speaking of hair removal, after I nair or just use like a little trimmer under my arms, I usually don't use the Arm & Hammer because it will sting. So I'll use like a milder deodorant like that. I'll either use the Smiths Sensitive, even though it doesn't work as well. I use it on days when I take off the hair, or I use this. It's Each and Every Coconut and Lime Aluminum Free Deodorant. I got a sample of this, and it is very, very mild. It has no aluminum, no parabens, no synthetic fragrances, and no baking soda. See, that baking soda is what can kind of make your armpits sensitive if you put it on the day that you shave. So yeah, it doesn't have any baking soda, which is good. So I use a baking soda free natural deodorant on the days that I remove hair, and I usually use Nair, or either use like a little clippers instead of a razor. So yeah, that's pretty much. And in cool weather, the Smith's Sensitive Skin is fine. I like this rose and black pepper. And also the Smith's Sensitive Skin, the which one is it? Coconut and pineapple. That's very good too. Okay, so why are we using natural deodorants? One of the biggest things that concerned me was the aluminum plaques that were found in the brain of Alzheimer's victims. There was a study done that showed that. Uh, they say it's not a risk, but at the same time, they haven't really told us why it was there and how it got there. So I still am iffy about using aluminum. I mean, they didn't tell us why the aluminum was in the plaques in the brain. So it had to come from somewhere, and maybe it had something to do with it. It could be a coincidence, it could not be, but at the same time, I'm not really taking a chance. It's like a chicken or the egg kind of thing. Like, did the aluminum buildup cause this Alzheimer's or other forms of dementia? Or was the brain already damaged and the aluminum just kind of collected there because it was already damaged? You know, it was one of these chicken or the egg type situations, but it's not a risk I'm willing to take. So you got to keep in mind also that aluminum deodorants is not your only source of aluminum. Like, it can be in cookware, which is why I use ceramic nonstick cookware instead of aluminum cookware. And it can also be in certain cosmetics like lotion. For example, the regular Dermasil lotion that everybody raves about at the Dollar Tree, that has aluminum in it. And that's why I don't really use that form of Dermasil, because it has aluminum in it. And also, certain suave lotions have magnesium aluminum hydroxide or something like that in it. So you just have to be very careful and read the labels. So I do not use lotions with aluminum in it or anything like that. And also beware of processed baked goods, because a lot of times they can be made with baking powder, and certain types of baking powder contain aluminum. So beware, just read the labels. If you're worried about aluminum exposure, deodorant is not your only thing that you need to be looking for. So I do some baking sometimes, and I use like aluminum-free baking powder that I got from Food Lion. So I make it, I know what's in it, so I'm good. Anyway, another reason why people use natural deodorants because they are concerned about breast cancer. I've read the research, and here I really don't believe that there's a link to breast cancer and antiperspirants containing aluminum. In my opinion, it is possible with Alzheimer's, but I don't really think with breast cancer that it really is possible. That's just my opinion after reading the literature. People who believe this say that the aluminum stops us from sweating, and so that toxins don't get out and that can lead to cancer. But that's sweating is not really how we get rid of toxins. Basically, sweating is how we cool the body, and sweat is basically water, salt, some minerals, some fats. That's pretty much what sweat is. And also, a lot of times people say that aluminum containing antiperspirants cause breast cancer because, like, where you apply the deodorant is kind of where a lot of these tumors are found. But you also have to keep in mind that that's also where a lot of breast tissue is found. So, of course, there's more breast tissue, there's going to be more breast cancer in that area. So, you have to think about it in that way as well. And yeah, and also they said that parabens in the aluminum right here can cause breast, and parabens in the underarm area in your deodorant can cause breast cancer. Now, they might be onto something with the parabens. However, most of the deodorants, the antiperspirants in the US, even the non-natural ones, do not have parabens in them. So even if you choose to use a deodorant with aluminum in it, 9 times out of 10 it's not going to have parabens in it. And if you're concerned, just read the label. So yeah. And about the breast cancer, here's the thing: aluminum isn't really absorbed that well into the body when you use it as an antiperspirant. The thing is, the main reason aluminum is used is it mixes with your sweat or whatever and creates like a plug in your skin, and that keeps the sweat from coming out. That's the thing. The main reason is used because it doesn't get absorbed that well. So I wouldn't worry too much about it when it comes to breast cancer. That's just my thing. You may feel differently, but it's your prerogative. And if you feel that it's better to be safe than sorry, I agree with you, which is why I use aluminum free deodorants as well. So those are my thoughts on that. Better safe than sorry. But I'm going to be really honest with you here. My plan is working for me, and if it wasn't, I probably would go back to using aluminum containing antiperspirants if I couldn't maintain my hygiene, because hygiene is very important to me and I just can't be out here smelling like a bag of onions. No. So right now I'm able to maintain good hygiene, smell great using my natural deodorants. But if I couldn't, I might consider going back to aluminum. That's what I would do. So if you feel that you need to go back to aluminum, you're not a failure. We all have our own various body chemistries and everything like that. So at the end of the day, we all have to do what is right for us. So yeah. So this is what I use to keep fresh: the Dial Spring Water Antibacterial Soap under the arms. And after that, I use Arm & Hammer Essentials Deodorant. I apply it after my shower. Sometimes I apply it in the morning as well. And I use the Clean Juniper Berry scent. And I've also used the blue one. And I've also used the green one. I think they just call that the fresh scent. I think it's Rosemary Fresh. That's what I think the green one is. But I like this one better, the blue one better. And I've also used the green one with some success. So that's what I use to stay clean and fresh in this heat. We all have a different body chemistry. Let me know in the comments section below what you use to keep yourself smelling good in the summertime. Thank you for your time. Have a good day. Bye-bye.